Quality control is not something we should ever be taking for granted. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 worst Steam games. For more gaming videos, check out our new spin-off channel, Mojo Plays, for in-depth reviews, thoughtful video essays, detailed character origins, and insightful commentary. Mojo Plays, games smarter. Open access marketplaces can be a great way for indie developers to thrive and find a market for sometimes niche but usually great titles. However, through incompetence or just taking advantage of the greenlight system, some truly awful games have slipped through the cracks over the years. This list focuses on those titles which have graced Valve's digital storefront. Number 10, Tunnel Rats.
The hell happened?
It's ironic, but probably not surprising to learn that one of the film industry's worst directors would have a hand in featuring in this list. But Uwe Boll's awful film paved the way for this hilariously broken first-person shooter of the same name. The AI is bafflingly incompetent. Physics barely exist, allowing players to scale any barrier in their path. And if gamers were expecting a competent story to carry the gameplay, well, they were dead wrong. Avoid the movie, avoid the game, and try to just forget about the whole thing.
Come on, just out of these tunnels, across the valley, back to base, rotate back to the real world, man.
Number 9, Bad Rats, The Rat's Revenge. The OG worst game on Steam still manages to lay a decent claim to that title, actually. This puzzle game that's somehow more frustrating to control than it is to play tasks you with leading the rat's revenge against some of the ugliest cats they've ever seen. The music is annoying, the puzzles are mindless, and dragging each item to solve each stage is one of the worst interfaces you've ever played. Strangely, having become almost a cult classic in recent years, this title shockingly saw a sequel which, trust us, is not any better. Number 8, GASP. Probably one of the most disappointing games on this list, GASP had an interesting premise, and gamers desperately wanted to see it work. What was built up as a struggle for survival as a lone astronaut on the moon turned out to be nothing more than a trashy walking simulator ripe with invisible walls, useless objects scattered all over the place, and waypoints that basically take forever to get to. Spend almost any amount of time with this title and you'll quickly stop avoiding the never-ending asteroids and instead start begging for them to kill you as quickly as possible. Number 7, Uriels Chasm. A title that probably wouldn't even pass a high school art project, Uriels Chasm is, and we're not joking here, a biblical shoot-'em-up. Carving itself a nice little niche that nobody asked for, and evidently nobody wanted, this confusing mashup demonstrates everything that's wrong with an open-access digital marketplace. The game is laughably short, the graphics are dizzyingly busy, and the gameplay would be repetitive if there was actually more of it, seemingly aspiring to be terrible. This title probably should have been taken off the market a long-ass time ago. Number 6, Airport Simulator 2014. If you've ever wanted to experience working in all the most boring menial jobs in an airport that nobody really likes to do, I'm sorry if you work there, then you are in luck with this very bottom-of-the-barrel simulator game. There's nothing about this title that is deserving of any money whatsoever, and even the trailer fails to make it seem exciting. You prepare planes and runways for takeoff and landing, you drive your little car around, and you watch planes come and go, all while not really getting paid for any of it, and that's it. So we just saved you some hard-earned cash. Number 5, Flatout 3, Chaos and Destruction. Fans of the Flatout franchise had a right to be excited with the looming of a third installment. It had been 5 years in the making and promised to deliver all of that fast-paced carnage that fans had been waiting for. Unfortunately, aside from looking pretty good, with decent models and textures, the game played abysmally. The physics and handling of all the vehicles makes them impossible to maneuver properly, and even if you could, all the dirt kicked back from the tracks flood the screen at every opportunity, blinding you and completely destroying the only part of the game it needed to be good at. Gamers definitely deserved better than this one. Number 4. Day 1, Garry's Incident. Open-world survival games were all the rage for a while, and amid all the fantastic AAA offerings stood this notoriously awful experience. While the environments look pretty good and well put together, a quick glance at literally any character model in the game soon destroys the illusion. Everything from the enemies to the animals looks rushed and lazy, and the broken combat can do nothing to salvage this experience. Gamers who perhaps really hated monkeys maybe got some enjoyable experience out of this, but there's really nothing of value here for anybody else. Number 3, The War Z / Infestation Survivor Stories. Maybe the most high-profile entry on this list, the game formerly known as The War Z got so much bad press at release, it was forced to change the title of the game in order to continue to trick gamers into buying it. That should give you the first clue about how bad it is. But if not, even just 5 minutes in the empty, boring world will definitely convince you of that fact. Or still, even if you do find something to kill, the bafflingly stupid zombies pose no threat. Other players are probably more dangerous, but we don't know because nobody's playing. Number 4, Rambo, the video game. Action movies and video games should be a match made in heaven, but Rambo has gotten the short end of the stick for a long time now. Fans who were expecting the high-octane, testosterone-fueled carnage of the, later movies were greeted instead by an on-the-rails shooter straight out of the arcades, with none of the polish or charm either. If the opening shots of an anorexic Rambo showing off the laughably bad graphics doesn't encourage you to shut the game off right there and then, the motion sickness caused by the worst cutscene camera ever definitely will.
The hard way is fine with me.
Number 1, The Slaughtering Grounds. Crowning achievement of bad game design, this title has it all. Using gameplay elements and a story that seems straightforward enough, the developers managed to fail at every level, providing gamers with absolutely terrible controls, rage-inducing music, and graphics that somehow look 15 years older than they actually are. Toss together every conceivable layer that makes up awful games and throw in some really bad developer relationships with the community, and you get The Slaughtering Grounds, the absolute worst excuse for a game on Steam.
Game over.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.